based on hearing?
Not really. I cannot make up my mind partway through the trial because we trial judges always have a struggle to keep an open trial. However, it is very apparent to me as a former trial judge that the prosecution is not prepared. The articles of impeachment which constitute in effect the complaint or the information was not thoroughly prepared. You see, they cannot even present evidence according to the sequence of their articles of impeachment. So they jump from, they begin with Article 3, now we are in Article 7, they keep on jumping like this. First Article 3, then on Article 2, and then on Article 3, they just gave up hope and said, we're not presenting evidence. That's very, very unusual. If that is the case, this is all evidence that they have not properly prepared for their task as the prosecution panel. And if you go around the trial courts of the country, you will be struck by the fact that judges are very, very impatient when the lawyers, either of the defense or the prosecution, are unprepared, because that is a waste of the time of the judge. In ordinary trial courts, normally there's an entire backlog of 500 to 1,000 cases. So a judge wants to get over a trial as soon as possible. And if the prosecution is unprepared, that is unfair to the side that it represents in this case. That would be unfair to the complainants and to the, let's just put it bluntly, to the administration, which has already officially, openly declared that they want the respondent to be acquitted. So in effect, therefore, the judge is telling them, move on, counsel. Do your work at home. That is the scenario in every trial court, not only in the Philippines, but in all tripartite democracies where our system of justice is observed. It's like, going to the surgery and the chief surgeon is berating you right there in the operating room because he's frightened to death that his patient must suffer at your hands. He's assuming responsibility. So in our case also, we know that the public are judging us. We are not really the supreme judges of all of these impeachment proceedings, but the public. So we want the public to see that we insist on the rules, that we insist on a fast-paced trial, and that the presentation should be coherent for the public. So if the panel or the prosecution are afraid that they might be embarrassed, the answer is they have to be better prepared. And they can always ask for a motion for reconsideration to one of their, maybe, to one of the senators who are sympathetic to their cause.
But do you prepare?
Well, that will have to depend on the evidence to be presented by the defense. We don't know, hindi pa natin alam kung gaano kagaling naman ang defense, ano? Kung pare-pareho lang silang hindi magaling, equal lang silang 50-50. Pero kung mas magaling ang depensa, yun ang in-effect ang sinasabi ko sa kanila, maghanda kayo sa kalagitnaan pa lang ng presentation ninyo. Binabalaan ko na kayo kasi malamang sa baga sa kabayo, mauuna na yung defense. Kaya pagbutihin nyo, ginagawa nyo. Pero patunay naman sa pamamagitan ng pagbasa ng mga rules of court or mga decided cases by the Supreme Court. They cannot be babied in the courtroom. In fact, that would be unethical of the judge. Pero once in a while, I myself will ask the questions for the prosecution just to be able to help them because I can see that they are handicapped in a way.
Last question.
Malamang, this is an entire series and then it will be published as a book.
Can they still salvage the situation?
Oh yes. Kung meron silang surprise witness, for example, then we'll all be taken aback. Especially one who is really an eyewitness to what is being testified upon. That's the important thing. The problem is, wala silang eyewitness.
Makatutulong ba?
Sila circumstantial evidence.
Makatutulong sa prosecution kung makukumbinsa nila si Justice Sereno na mag-testify?
Well, yes, of course. Because, the testimony of the Justice Secretary, as I will bring up later this afternoon, is hearsay. It's not admissible. She's not testifying on her own personal knowledge, but her testimony is based on the dissenting opinion of Justice Sereno. So just to answer your hypothetical question, if the Justice herself testifies, that will, of course, bolster the case of the prosecution.
So pwede lang po mag-volunteer si
Okay.
Justice.